Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're decoding how professional engineering teams actually build reliable enterprise applications at scale. We're looking at a pretty fascinating breakdown of enterprise software testing strategy. So if you've ever wondered how these massive systems, I'm talking millions of users, somehow stay up and running without completely breaking every single time a new feature drops, well, you're absolutely in the right place. Let's get into it. The absolute most crucial point to understand right off the bat, testing is not just about hunting for bugs. It's about confidence. Seriously, it's about generating absolute confidence that your core business workflows are behaving exactly as they should, that your APIs are rock solid, and that a brand new code change isn't going to completely break some old beloved feature. It's really all about trusting the system. Now, we really have to separate how we think about small projects versus massive systems. A small project can usually survive on a super simple cycle. A developer builds a feature, somebody manually checks it over, and boom, it goes live. But enterprise beasts, they require a completely different approach. We're talking multiple teams, incredibly complex workflows, third-party APIs, strict compliance rules, and years of continuous change. A single tiny change in an enterprise app can unexpectedly knock out payments or mess up customer data. You literally cannot rely on random manual testing to handle that level of sheer complexity. To make sense of all this, we've organized this massive topic into 5 clear chapters. First, testing is risk management. Second, the testing pyramid. Third, specialized enterprise tests. Fourth, automation and CI/CD. And finally, measuring quality and success. So, Chapter 1, Testing is Risk Management. Let's start by totally reframing how we view the entire testing process. The idea behind risk-based testing is that you simply cannot test everything equally. It's literally impossible. Your testing effort absolutely has to match the potential business impact. Think about it. A typo on a marketing page? That's low risk. It doesn't need some elaborate automated test suite. But a bug in your payment processing? High risk for sure. And a bug in admin permissions that accidentally exposes user data? That is extremely high risk. The bottom line here is that your testing strategy has to ruthlessly protect the parts of the system that matter most to the business. Moving right along to Chapter 2, the testing pyramid. Let's look at the architectural structure that solves this whole risk problem. The testing pyramid is a really foundational concept. It's designed to prevent your test suites from becoming agonizingly slow and flaky. It's all about balancing where you spend your testing budget. You want a wide, solid base of fast, cheap tests and a much narrower peak of complex, slower tests. If a team relies only on heavy, top-level tests, the entire system just grinds to a halt, and honestly, developers will just stop trusting the results. Let's actually climb this pyramid step by step. We start at the bottom with unit tests. These are lightning fast. They check core business logic completely in isolation, like a discount calculation or a password validator. Next, we move up to integration tests, where we check the boundaries. This makes sure your code actually plays nicely with a real database or a cloud storage service. Then we hit contract tests. Think of these as service agreements between different APIs, ensuring that if one microservice changes, it doesn't break the whole shebang relying on it. Finally, at the very top, we have end-to-end tests. These are the heavy lifters that validate critical user journeys, like a user logging in, buying a course, and actually getting their certificate. All right, Chapter 3, Specialized Enterprise Tests. Now we're expanding beyond basic code functionality to tackle the unique vulnerabilities of massive enterprise systems. You really have to stop and ask yourself, what happens when things fail? Because look, in modern distributed systems that rely on a million different external APIs and cloud services, failure is absolutely inevitable. It is never a matter of if something will go down, but when. To survive those inevitable failures, professional teams use chaos testing to validate specific resilience patterns. Chaos testing is literally asking, what happens if the payment provider just times out? Or what if an entire cloud region goes down? By testing things like timeouts, retries, and fallbacks, you ensure that your system degrades gracefully. For example, if a recommendation engine completely dies on an e-learning platform, your users should absolutely still be able to browse and purchase a course. The whole system shouldn't just crash and burn because one minor service threw an error. Alongside resilience, we absolutely have to strictly test our security boundaries. A massive focus here is authorization. A lot of serious security flaws actually come from broken access control. Your tests have to guarantee without a doubt that a standard user can never execute an admin API or somehow access another tenant's private reports. Security testing isn't just about checking what users can do, it's heavily focused on testing what they must not be allowed to do. Then, you add performance testing to the mix to guarantee your system won't just melt down during a sudden traffic surge. Enterprise software might work beautifully for 10 users, but completely fall apart for 10,000. So you need load testing for expected traffic, spike testing for sudden marketing campaigns, and endurance testing to make sure memory doesn't silently leak in over a long period. You definitely never want to wait until your users are complaining on social media to find out your system can't handle the load. Moving to Chapter 4, Automation and CI/CD. Let's explore how we actually operationalize all these different layers of tests into a seamless workflow. But wait, before we automate a single thing, remember this. Your tests are only as good as your data. Relying on unstable, shared, or non-compliant production data, that will completely ruin your automation strategy. It causes fleeky tests, where a test fails just because someone else deleted the data it was looking for. Good test data is synthetic, it's isolated, and it automatically cleans itself up after the test runs. That is how you keep your automation fast, safe, and highly reliable. Let's look at this timeline and see how a code change actually builds confidence as it travels through a CI/CD pipeline. We definitely don't run every test at once because, well, that would take hours. Instead, we use layered execution. When a developer opens a pull request, we run the fast unit and API tests. Before we merge the code, we run the deeper integration and contract tests. Before we release it to the public, we hit it with the heavy end-to-end tests and security scans. And finally, after deployment, we run quick smoke tests in production just to make sure the lights are actually on. The system triggers deeper tests only as the code passes specific risk gates. And finally, Chapter 5, Measuring Quality and Success. We need to know how to measure if this entire testing strategy is actually working. You should absolutely track vital quality signals, like the defect escape rate, which tells you how many bugs are actually slipping past your tests and into production, and the mean time to detect those issues. But be warned, relying on a single isolated metric like code coverage can be dangerously misleading. I mean, a project might boast 90% code coverage, but if the tests themselves are weak and don't check the right business rules, that 90% is just an illusion of safety. So I want to leave you with this final thought for your own engineering teams. Take a hard look at your strategy today. Look at the numbers you track and ask yourself, are your metrics just vanity numbers to make management feel good, or are they actually reducing real risk? The best testing strategies combine smart automation with human judgment to protect your critical workflows. Ask yourself if your tests are genuinely increasing your delivery confidence or if they're just slowing you down. Use the concepts in this explainer to build a safety net that lets your enterprise move fast without breaking things.